What's up, Fortniters? My name is Titus. I've never made a YouTube video before, but I am today. If you want to see how I turn this doll into this concept art, why don't you fucking watch this video then? Woo, 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 woo. So yeah, my name's Titus, and I'm 20 years old, and I've picked up doll customizing as a hobby. I'm gonna try to film my projects on YouTube. Honestly, doll customizing is a lot more fun than digital art, for me right now at least. As someone who's done digital art primarily since I was like 11 or 12, I'm pretty bored of it, not gonna cap. Loved multimedia stuff after all. And I've always watched doll customizing videos. For like 5 years I've been following Delightful and Hextian and Moonlight Jewel, and I just had to start doing it for myself. Fuck. So her neck peg broke. Here you can see me trying to remove it. Finally got it out there, and at this point I'm just like, I don't even fucking know what to do about the neck. So I decided to just go on and remove all of her icky hair and stuff. By the way, this footage is not sped up 40 times or anything. This is actually how fast I can remove the hair. Pretty cool. Now her head's clean, and this is one of my most favorite parts. I can really appreciate the face sculpting when they don't have any hair. Here I'm just removing the eyes, you know, cutting out that plastic that they're kind of encased in, popping them out. After telling Mildew to leave, after banishing Mildew, my cat, I can remove her face with 100% acetone. Also her nails and her factory painted on panties, because I hate that shit. And here I've just made a hook out of some flexible wire. I wanted it to be flexible, and I'm threading it through around the neck peg, and then I'm going to just pull it through with pliers. And this elastic that I'm putting in here will help us to string her head back on. So in my first attempt to fix her neck situation, I tried to embed a wire going all the way through her head above her ears to tie my elastic to. There's mothball in the background, oh my goodness. Here's her first stringing attempt.
Floppy. I think it worked. So I cut off a piece of a chopstick and I got it in there with the elastic around it, and I think her head is tight enough to hold a pose now. I'm gonna clip these little ends. Okay. I think it works. Yeah. Look, her head holds the pose. Holy shit.
Next, I'm just taking her eyes apart, super easy, just to get X-Acto in there and pull them apart. And I'm removing the lashes. Next, I'm taking some of Dia's original accessories, her boots, and one of the little thingies that was on her boots, and I'm just whittling them down. I'm trying to get more of a fantasy look for my character. I'll show you the concept art in a minute. But, yeah, I want these boots to have, like, a heel. I don't want the chunky elements, although I do love them. They don't fit the character I'm trying to go for. In here you can kind of see the shape that I was going for, much more fantasy, kind of just old style. And here's my concept art, little speed paint of it. I wanted to go for a Baldur's Gate tiefling. I've really been enjoying playing Baldur's Gate with my boyfriend, so I was inspired to create a tiefling who's maybe been in the Underdark for a little too long. I brainstormed about this character for like an entire shift at work, and then came home and drew this. Look at me go. I am painting my little boots. I am not as sick as I was in the last voiceover, so I probably sound better. I am painting that little pack thing that I'm gonna put on her arm. And yeah, I'm gonna paint those eyes and those boots and make them look cool. Here I am doing like some cool gradients on the eyes. I really wanted them to be just super green, super catchy, very bright, and with yellow in the middle. Doll customizing is a lot of fun. I really love working with different materials, and it's a lot more stimulating for me than digital art. I feel like I've kind of been at a rut with my digital art. Not that I've stopped improving or anything, but I'm just bored. I often do multiple small things at once when I'm working on a doll project because of things needing to dry or, cure. So my footage is pretty disorganized, and I tried to fix that in post, but it's not perfect. I did my best. Give me editing tips or any sort of video making tips in the comments. Let me know if this video is too long, because it's pretty long, not gonna lie. Going over the little seams in these boots was super satisfying, and it really made them look more realistic. I really like how they came out. Here I'm taking this creepy ass charm from my jewelry box and some chain, and I am attaching it to the pouch that I'm going to put on her arm. Next, I needed to make some resin crystals for her tail and her body. So I mixed some glow-in-the-dark powder, micro glitters, and dye into this epoxy resin. Thought it was UV resin, but I was wrong. That's alright though. So yeah, I just filled up this crystal mode, and I intend to break the crystals apart afterwards and use them on my doll, and also on the stand that I'll be creating later. With my brand new epoxy sculpt, I was able to make the Bibberbang mushrooms and the Rogue's Morsel mushrooms from Baldur's Gate. They're not to scale with the doll or the game. I don't really care. I just wanted to make some cute mushrooms. Carving clay is so satisfying. It's one of my favorite parts of the process. Especially air dry clay. The tools really just go through it like butter, honestly. My clay working process is not straightforward at all, and I don't often have long times to work on a project, just in between work and hanging out with my boyfriend and being lazy, to be honest. Sleeping, because I really love to do that. But, I'm on like a second pass here, I think. Trying to map out the details of the eyebrows, the lines in the horns, and the ears, of course. Next day, I give it a nice sand. I sand off all the little pieces that I got on her face as well. Sanding the scar was kind of difficult. I didn't want too much of the scar to be removed, but I still wanted the scar to be visible and 3D, you know? Now I'm carving out part of the already cured ear. I don't really work symmetrically or anything like that. I'll work on one ear one day and one horn the next day. Again, my clay sculpting process is not straightforward at all. Not like it has to be, though. Whatever works for you. Finally, I can cover her mods and her sanded body in purple paint. Always very satisfying. I did lots of thin coats with a little bit of water in my paint on the body to get it smooth, and it came out really smooth. Painting the horns was really satisfying. It really is nice to see your mods become one with the doll, of course. I definitely need some higher grits of sandpaper though, because the seams are noticeable, and because this is air dry clay, I noticed some cracks already, unfortunately, but no one needs to know. Unprompted, but I threw on a little black gradient on the horns, and eventually to the tail as well, because it looks good. I also decided to paint her scalp teal, because I'll be rerouting her with teal, blue, and black hair. Now to my face up, which is sort of on frame, in frame. I used chalk pastels and shitty ass watercolor pencils. I mean, they work though, so it's fine. My ring light came, so now I have better lighting, yay! Yeah, I'm just building up all the elements of her face and using pastels, and MSC, of course. After some body blushing, I started on the face up. I guess the body blushing is lasting a little longer than I thought. Holy shit! The face up! Yeah! I feel like I maybe didn't get my camera close enough for this, but it's hard to record such a dark-skinned doll well, I guess, and it's hard to build up those blushes and pigments too. Wasn't able to do too much blushing on the face, unfortunately. Peeled off some paint there, that was pretty satisfying. Adding acrylics to the face up is obviously my favorite part of the face up. It adds the pop. It adds the everything. The scar came out a little bit differently from the concept art, because there was a little piece of it that I couldn't sand smooth under the eye, and I just decided to make it part of the scar, and I actually think I prefer how this looks. It looks really cool, honestly. I feel like I really did well on the lips this time, which is cool because I feel like I've kind of maybe not been the best at lips. I love a good black, shiny lip, so that's really easy, and I haven't gotten a lot of practice with lips. But I wanted to do a nice gradient to green with these, and I really like how they came out. I added several beauty marks and things of that nature to make her look more realistic. And then I added some shadows in the scar. Then I did some baby hairs, which I really enjoy doing. I love just kind of seeing what they turn out like without thinking about it too much. For this character, I wanted some kind of crazy looking ones. It's a fantasy character, after all. With resin micro powders, I gave her a beautiful shimmer. I used blue, and it came out so good. I gave this doll nipples. Sorry, YouTube, I like it. Here's me trying to glue on the lashes. Literally never done lashes on a doll before. It was kind of annoying, but it wasn't that bad. There's no way you'll ever catch me doing like the singular lashes like Hextian does though. No fucking way. I trimmed the lashes down off cam, and now I'm giving her a bridge piercing and I think 2 tragus? Fuck, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know. I really like those though. I want to get some myself. I'm a little scared though, I've never had a cartilage piercing. Is it way more painful than a regular piercing? Let me know. I prepared my yarn like this, splitting my strands into 4 and creating these cute little wavy little things. And then I'm making her little puffs. Basically, I just made it the same way you would make a pom-pom. I kind of just like eyeballed it and figured it out. I didn't really look it up or anything. I was gonna try brushing it out with the pet brush as you saw, but it just was tearing the yarn apart. So instead, I decided to unravel the strands even further. And you can see as it becomes more voluminous and starts to take shape, it looks more and more like an afro puff. I know we just did the face up, but we went back in time for this one. With Mothball's help, I did the reroute. I think I got this reroute tool from the Doll Planet's eBay account, I'm pretty sure. Works pretty good. I didn't want to add too much black, but I did usually try to place the black strands close to each other. I thought that would look more realistic, I don't know. Then I put all of those strands into braids. I didn't film all of this because I did it on the couch, because it's tedious and hurts my hands, and it's easier to do in my lap. So now we need to put her head back together. I made a couple staples out of wire and I'm placing them into the head now. Because I'm keeping this doll for myself, I don't care if it's super fragile. I'm not going to be moving it. So I just did 2 staples. Decided I wanted some thinner braids closer to her temples. I definitely think that looks way better. Only halfway through this project did I realize that you should definitely braid towards the direction you want the braid to sit. So here you can see me flipping her over and kind of pulling the braid against the head as I braid it. At least for the first couple loops of the braid, it's definitely useful to do this. Onto her clothes. I stole some pieces of Velcro from a rainbow high top I didn't like, and I'm now just tracing, I think her name is Victoria Whitman, something like that, and I traced her body to make a pattern for the top. With this big thick black marker I add my seam allowance. Then I cut my pattern out. I tried it on her and decided I needed a little bit more fabric on the edges, so I added that when I cut the piece out. I am a fucking amateur at sewing and garment making in general. I don't have a sewing machine, all of it's done by hand at the moment. I like hand sewing, it's fun. I know it doesn't look amazing, but for this look, I was kind of going for something handmade and a bit dingy, I guess. So it didn't have to look perfect. I folded in all the seam allowances instead of actually sewing them. I like how it looks. Learned that one from Moonlight Jewel. It was pretty gross. I don't really like touching glue. I really don't like touching glue. With the top all glued, now I can just shape the little cups. So I did what I think is called a whip stitch across this edge. I will be doing it on the bottom edge as well. And then I pulled my loose thread through, and I think it's really cute. I messed up right here, but I'm gonna put little shinies on it. So I'm gonna try to cover that up. So I did the same thing on the bottom edge, the little whip stitch, and then I pulled the thing through. Because this garment is pretty small, I took the time to glue down some of my loose threads. I'm not great at tying them anyway, so this was kind of just an added layer of insurance, I don't know. Now I'm adding the second piece of Velcro. I almost put it on the wrong spot there. And then I'm adding my little shinies. This was really fun. I didn't really have a plan. I just went into it and I came up with a cute little design that I think really fits the character. The pants making process was not super straightforward either. The footage that you'll see is all of a pair that came out way too small, so do not take the shape of this pants that you see and try to use it unless you want really, really tight and short pants that also don't fit around the crotch, which you probably don't, so don't. The reason I'm showing you the footage of the failed pants is because I did the good pants mostly on my couch. It's way more comfortable. But I wanted to show you some of this distressing I did. Basically, I'm cutting horizontal lines into the fabric, then using a needle to bring out the vertical lines and carefully pulling them out. Some of the loose horizontal threads I will trim and some I won't. You can see the good pants in the background. I finished them completely off camera. Oops! But now I'm carving down some of these crystals from the mold that I took earlier, and I'm sticking them to her body with Uhu glue. Definitely want some stronger glue for this though if I'm gonna do it again. I also find it useful to paint multiple things at a time, so I am painting the tail and also all of the mushrooms I made for her stand. These are some Bibberbang and Rogue's Morsel mushrooms from Baldur's Gate. Is there any part of the process that you'd like to see more or less of? Let me know, because I feel like I sped up all this footage so much, and it makes me think maybe I shouldn't have recorded as much as I did. Help me out, I'm not great at recording my process. For a finishing touch, I gloss the lips and eyes with UV resin. Then I hot glue her tail in. Got kinda lazy with that, not gonna cap. Well, are you ready to see her? Thanks for watching this video if you did. It's super long, sorry about that, but I really loved this project, how it came out, filming it, all of it was so much fun and makes me want to do more, so truly thank you if you watched this. I'm honestly just happy for anyone to be looking at my work. Compared to the concept art, I like the doll more, and I think that's a really good sign. So yeah, that's basically it. Leave a comment if you want to see me make a sort of doll that you like. Here's what I'm currently working on. It's a fucking goat, satanic goat woman lady. I'm choosing a static pose, like Catmillion Studios. Catmillion, excuse me. I really love Mashina's work. Anyway, that's it, Fortniters. See you later.